So I'm making this video on the ARCADUM'S situation. Allegations against them on pretty much grooming females, mainly VTubers, and there's some VTubers that made posts on Twitter. So, and I just seen a video on YouTube of him, how he treats his friends, which is this one. I hope they don't mind.
What?
No, so what I'm saying, Arcadum, is that I didn't perceive it as like you telling me that nobody likes me, because I understand that like what you were doing was banter, but the phrase like you don't get invited back to parties implies people don't like you enough to invite you back to parties, or something negative results in you not being invited back to parties.
If you take it past banter, it can mean that. So that fault is on you.
But like
not me.
so I'm saying what I'm saying is that like that phrase in and of itself did not feel like banter to me, because I don't take.
That's not my problem.
He's extremely rude to his.
I mean,
friends.
Wait. So.
Be stronger. My advice, or don't play.
Oh my god!
So what did you think the response should have been?
Are these people supposed to be friends? What? This is some like crazy
That's how he
fucking
treats
shit.
his
What
friends?
the fuck?
Ugh. Wow. Well, anyway, I hope Momo don't mind. People. Here we go. Oh man, I need a. Oh, that's the wrong one. This is the one I'm looking for. Momo Mischief. So pretty much, I'm not gonna go through all of it, but here's links to. Yeah, so it's twit long. Pause if you want to read, but or just go on Twitter, go on here. And see, Project Melody just did something right here. I don't want to get into it much here, but I can confirm the allegations, yes. And there are others that, oh, speaking of which, go back on Momo. Other females are coming out on their experiences with ARCADUM. He screwed himself. Grooming them, pretty much sexually harassing them, in my opinion. It's just sad, and even Nugs had something to say about it a little. Yeah, that's pretty much true. No, it's just sad about what's transpiring right now. Let's see, 4.5 minutes, right? Yeah, he's getting kind of sus, so. Allegations. Alright. not even a bit sick. No COVID. Just a little sick because of changing temperatures. I hope some of these guys don't mind me.
Here's the deal.
On this
We failed the
because-
mission. You die.
If we find out any information you give us is
Sorry.
you die.
If we find out you have
Like I
personalized
said,
license plates,
a little
you
sick.
die.
No.
All right, let's get it.
Hey, what's up
I hate
guys,
ads.
I'm here and welcome back
Suck.
to another video. Today's video focuses on a serious topic which requires further reading.
Stay
It
away
will
from
not be as
Arkham.
lighthearted as my other videos.
That I
will link a Twitter thread in
wholeheartedly
the description
agree.
with each twitlonger that's been made about Arcadum, so you can read them for yourself. Because I will not be reading them in their entirety in this video, or even going over each one. There are some things I had to cut or leave out because of the format of my videos.
13
And if
creators
you're new
come
here,
forward with
I may be
stories
focusing a
of
little more on the
abuse.
VTubers that are featured in this story, as my channel is primarily a VTuber news channel. So with that out of the way, let's begin. If you don't know about Arcadum, he is a Twitch streamer and D&D Dungeon Master with over 60,000 followers on Twitter, over 100k on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm
and
pretty sure he's gonna
250,000
start
on
losing
Twitch.
all those
He's run
followers,
Dungeons
all
and
those
Dragons campaigns with some
subscribers on
pretty big names,
YouTube and
like
Twitch
Video
and all
Game
that
Donkey,
because
Critical,
of
and on
what
the
he's
VTuber
been
side,
doing
he ran
over
the game with
the
Nyanas,
years.
Fruit, Vebe and Snuffer. And today, August 31st, 13 different creators have came out with twitlongers about Arcadum, with a whole host of different allegations. These allegations primarily show Arcadum being manipulative and gaslighting people, emotionally abusing people, as well as some unwanted sexual behaviour. He would vent to all of his female friends about problems he was having in his relationship with his public fiancée, and about how worthless he felt because of it, and then try and garner sympathy, or asking the girls to help comfort him in VR chat. This comes from Twitch streamer
Before
Kelly
I
Sirens.
continue on with this, I would say I do feel sympathy for all the females that came forward because of what Arcadum has done, and I would say he's a real piece of shit. He's a real piece of shit for what he's done. I mean, similar to Ryan from Achievement Hunter for sexually grooming underage girl. That's a big no-no.
Account of her abuse with Arcadum. Arcadum opened up to me about something really bad that happened in his relationship. He would ask me for my support, and would ask me to get on VR chat with him to listen and help. I wanted to help him. He would break down crying almost every single time. Things were okay, and we had genuine, I felt, talks about what he's going through. Things started to shift a bit when he suggested I comfort him in more ways than just words. He would say how he wasn't desirable, how he feels like less of a man, how sad and lonely he is. Eventually it started leading to, I'm really sad, is it alright if I hug you? And similar comments, which led to flirting, and then more, him commenting on my character's boobs and stuff, and could he touch them. Sometimes I would say it was okay. I found that if I was hesitant at all, he'd get really weird about it. He'd blame himself and wonder what was wrong with him. Eventually it meant if I were to get on VR chat to comfort him, it would most definitely lead to him asking me if I could make him feel better, in a sexual way. One day I mentioned off the bat I don't want anything sexual, that I just wanted to chill with him. It spiraled immediately into him being in disbelief, wondering why I'd even say that. It started getting to the point where he'd randomly ask
I'm gonna pause it for a sec. You're killing it. I just woke up from a small nap and I'm in the mood to let me tell you. This is. Oh my god.
me to make him feel better, or help him find sexual release. It never felt right, and he would constantly ask me to help him relax or feel good all of the time. He would say he understood, but then immediately the next day, or a couple of days later, he would ask again. I said yes sometimes, because I would just get tired of dealing with the constant asking. I was afraid he'd drop our friendship. I was afraid of him. Every time after he would say he was sorry, and ask if I really wanted it. This proves he knew he was harassing me. He would say it didn't seem like I was into it. I wish I had just told him no bluntly, instead of engaging. But it just didn't feel easy for me to confront him on it. I did not want to do stuff. I told him I wasn't feeling it several times. He would always say okay and that he understood, but he would just keep asking at later times, checking to see if I wanted to. He also apparently asked to remove or banned all of the
What Arcadum is showing right there is he's pretty much stalking this particular woman.
women he knew from one of his Discord servers, which might have been what brought these women together to talk about their situation with each other, helping them realise how deep this goes and how it's not just isolated with one person, but systematic with all the women Arcadum do. Like I said, I will not be going into too much of these allegations, as there's a lot to them, but it's important for people to read these women's stories. What I read out was just a small selection of one of the girls' stories. Right now, of course, these are just allegations, and some of the stories are without evidence, as it happened in VR chat, or voice calls that no one would think to record. But there is evidence for a lot of these things, such as Discord screenshots and audio files, which you can find in the Twitlongers. And it also looks like ARCADUM had known that these allegations were going to come out, because he's gone back and edited some of his messages on the 28th of August. And these messages were originally sent in 2020. Tampering with evidence like this is extremely sketchy, and if ARCADUM had nothing to hide, then it wouldn't make sense to do that. I find it really unlikely that 13 different people who are publicly associated and friends with someone would come out against them for no reason. It would not only risk their own reputations, but also their personal relationships going forward with everyone else. He seems like a terrible person, but there are of course two sides to each story. ARCADUM tweeted this out about the situation. I will be addressing the events tomorrow on stream. Right now I am trying to find a place to set up so
Yeah, well, yeah, right there. I read that. I unfollowed him on Twitter. I unfollowed him on Twitch, but not gonna watch it. But I am curious to see clips on what the hell he has to say about all this.
I can. Now I'm going to look at a few different people's reactions to this situation. People that knew ARCADUM and were in his games. Snuffy tweeted out, I wish I could put my feelings into words right now, but I just can't. Fruit tweeted, it has been a lot to take in today, and I am disappointed. Ross, or Rubber Ninja, tweeted out, shocked about what I've read today about ARCADUM. My heart goes out to everyone affected by this. Really disappointing. CC tweeted, the fact that I'm seeing a lot of people try to downplay and ignore what ARCADUM did to these women because they don't agree with how Momo described the situation as grooming is fucked up. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Lay Can't Play said, I had my own issues with ARCADUM trying to pressure me for sexual intimacy a long time ago. When I declined, he made it out like he was never going to do that again, but I was wrong. I feel stupid for openly trusting this person. My heart hurts for these girls. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.
Let's see, I gotta... It's just... I'm appalled by what's going on. It's just a message. I don't know what the message is all about. Go ahead and exit out of Twitter, because... ARCADUM'S important message to people harassing his players. Yeah, he's the one that's been harassing the players, fucking being mean. Wow, what a real piece of shit. Ugh. Okay, I'll be back. I'm gonna see why the dogs are barking. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, there's there's a lot of videos. Well, not much videos right now, but nuts. Gonna go back see if there's any other videos on how he treats his friends. Oh, that I didn't know. ARCADUM will respond to drama via Twitch while girlfriend asks for space. Well, he's been trying to cheat on her for the VTubers. Don't think that's gonna happen now because of what's been going on. Not much more going on, but Now, but the whole situation with ARCADUM is it's just amazing. Wow, even Chilled had something to say about it. Wow. Actually, let's go. Actually, I could just do this. Hashtag ARCADUM. Let's see. Loser. Yeah, saying that to a random Kelly when he has a girlfriend? This doesn't make sense. Continuous. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he is a garbage fire. He's a real piece of shit. To me. Got a notification. Yeah, just something I said. Nux's thing. Yep. Manipulative and trust towards women. He's a womanizer. That's what I get out of it. He's a womanizer. So, well, anywho, I think this should do for this video. Thank you for watching. And I would say, ARCADUM, you're a real piece of work for manipulating and being trash to women, especially these VTubers. You're going to get what's coming to you, and hopefully you get prosecuted for it. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you for watching.